Be Me, 28 Director of Spatial Narrative and Equity at a high-end contemporary art gallery in Chelsea, NYC, created the title myself 6 months ago previously, was a junior curatorial associate. But threatened to leave for a competitor owner, Julian is a spineless trust fund baby who is terrified of bad PR. He caved, gave me a 40% raise. Now I make $110,000 to write placards about colonialism. Life is good. Feel like I'm finally dismantling the patriarchy. One white cube at a time. My job is mostly telling rich people why they should feel guilty while buying $50,000 paintings. Enter alias head of installation and logistics 45. Union guy, forearms the size of my thighs. Always smells like sawdust and coffee. He's been there for 15 years. Absolute tyrant of the physical space, doesn't care about the dialogue or the intersectional juxtaposition, only cares about load-bearing walls and humidity controls. Literal gatekeeper first clash happens 2 months in. I want to hang a series of lead sheets from the ceiling using raw silk ropes. Piece is titled The Weight of Softness Metaphor for Female Emotional Labor. Looks at the ceiling. No. Just no. Doesn't even look up from his clipboard. I feel the heat rising in my neck. Excuse me? This is the centerpiece of the fall collection. Silk stretches. Lead is heavy. HVAC vibrations will snap that in 3 days. It'll kill someone. We use aircraft cable or it stays on the floor. Aircraft cable ruins the aesthetic fragility. You're prioritizing industrial masculinity over the artist's vision. He blinks slow, bovine blink. I'm prioritizing not crushing a donor's skull, Sarah. It's physics. Walks away. I'm shaking the dismissal, the condescension. He didn't even try to understand the emotional weight of the piece. I go straight to Slack private channel. The coven with the 2 interns and the receptionist. Elias is literally impossible. Just mansplained gravity to me. I don't feel safe asking for changes anymore. Intern smashed that reacting emoji button. He's so aggressive. One types, I saw him holding a hammer yesterday and I literally crossed the street. The receptionist adds, validation feels like a warm bath. I start documenting every time Elias says no, every time he sighs, every time he checks his watch. While I'm talking, create a folder called microaggressions_log. Fast forward 3 weeks, upcoming exhibition, disrupted boundaries. I want to remove the safety stanchions around a kinetic sculpture involving spinning rusty blades. The danger is the point. Elias, it represents the precarity of marginalized bodies. Elias is on a ladder, adjusting track lighting, looks down at me like I'm a toddler holding a fork near an outlet. Insurance mandates a 3-foot barrier. Code mandates it, common sense mandates it. You're policing the audience's experience. I'm policing the gallery's liability coverage. Put the stanchions back or the power stays off. He climbs down, doesn't even make eye contact, brushes past me shoulder, checks me. Okay, he didn't actually touch me. But he invaded my personal space. The air pressure changed. It was an act of violence. I go to Julian's office. Julian is drinking espresso and looking at auction results. Julian, we have a problem with Elias. Julian sighs, rubs his temples. He's the best installer in the city, Sarah. What is it now? It's not just professional disagreements. It's his tone, his physical presence. He looms. He dismisses my expertise. I'm trying to curate a space of inclusion and he's creating a hostile environment. Use all the keywords: hostile, unsafe, gender dynamics, power imbalance. Julian looks nervous. I'll talk to him about being more collaborative. I think we need a mediator, and I want everything in writing from now on. Julian nods. Just wants me to leave. I feel powerful. I am holding the line for women in the arts. Go home to my boyfriend, Mark. Mark is a freelance graphic designer. Soft-spoken, makes sourdough tell him about the battle. He literally threatened to cut the power to my exhibit, Mark. It's sabotage. Mark is chopping vegetables. Did he say why? Some bullshit about insurance. It's always bureaucratic excuses to control me. Mark pauses. Well, is the sculpture dangerous? Stare at him. That's not the point. You're sounding like him. Mark goes back to chopping. Sorry. Just asking. Silence for the rest of dinner. He's been distant lately. Probably intimidated by my career growth. Next day, I decided to take matters into my own hands. Wait until Elias goes to lunch, go to the kinetic sculpture, move the stanchions away, hide them in the storage closet, turn the power on. It looks magnificent. Dangerous. Visceral. Real. Take a photo for Instagram, caption breaking down barriers, art should bleed. Go back to my office, hear a crash 20 minutes later scream, run out a donor, Mrs. Cheat. Vanderwall tripped, didn't hit the blades, thank God, but fell hard because she expected a barrier twisted ankle. Spilled coffee everywhere. Elias comes running from the break room, sees the missing stanchions. Sees me. His face goes red. Where are the barriers? I bolted them down. I freeze. I don't know. I told you they were necessary. Did you forget to install them? Pivot instantly. Offense is the best defense. I told Julian you were being negligent. You were so focused on arguing with me, you forgot to do your job. Elias looks at the floor where the bolts were unscrewed. Looks at me cold, deadly calm. I see. Helps Mrs. Vanderwall up. She's threatening to sue Julian, comes out pale as a sheet. What happened? Elias didn't secure the perimeter. I say, voice shaking, tears forming, on command. I tried to tell him it was dangerous, but he just ignores me. He's been checking out early all week. Julian looks at Elias. Is this true? Elias says nothing, just pulls out his phone, taps the screen, puts it back in his pocket. We'll discuss this in your office, Julian, with HR. I smirk internally. He's done negligence lawsuit waiting to happen finally. I can hire someone who listens, maybe a woman. The meeting is set for Friday, disciplinary hearing. I spend 3 days preparing, print out the Slack logs from the coven, edited to protect anonymity of others. Write a 10-page impact statement about the psychological toll of working with a traditionalist misogynist. Mark asks if I'm sure about what happened. Whose side are you on? I was there, Mark. I'm just saying, Elias seems meticulous. It's weird he'd forget. It's weaponized incompetence. He wanted me to fail. Mark sleeps on the couch that night, says he has back pain, whatever. Friday morning, wear my power suit, walk into the conference room. Julian is there, looking sick. HR consultant. A woman named Linda is there. Elias sits opposite. He has a thick binder and a laptop. I sit down, spread my papers out. I'd like to start. I say. Linda nods. I go through the timeline, the disrespect, the nose, the tone, the looming, finally. The accident, it was the culmination of months of negligence. He was so busy trying to undermine my authority that he endangered a client. I feel unsafe in this building knowing he has keys. Finish with a tremble in my voice. Reach for water. Julian looks at Elias. Elias? Elias opens the laptop, connects it to the projector. I have been the head of logistics here for 15 years. He says, voice is gravel. I have never had a safety incident. Not one. Until now, I interject. Please let him finish. Linda says. Elias opens a file, video_log_2023_10_12.mp4. My stomach drops. The gallery installed new 4K cameras last month for insurance. I forgot the screen comes to life timestamp. 12:15 p.m. Elias is seen bolting the stanchions into the floor. He checks them, shakes them. They are solid. He leaves for lunch at 12:30 p.m. I enter the frame, look around, pull a wrench out of my tote bag. I see myself on screen. Struggling with the bolts, I look frantic. I drag the stanchions to the closet. I wipe my brow. I take the Instagram photo. I walk away. The room is silent, vacuum silent. I can hear the hum of the projector fan. It sounds like a jet engine. My mouth is dry. That's deepfake. That's manipulated. Elias clicks another file. audio_log_meeting_09_20. MP3, it's the day of the lead sheets argument. My voice. You're just a glorified mover, Elias. I make the culture. You just carry it. If I want this to hang, you'll hang it, or I'll tell Julian you threaten me. His voice. It's not safe, Sarah. My voice. I don't care about safe. I care about the narrative. God, you men are so fragile. Click silence again. Elias closes the laptop. I started recording all one-on-one interactions after Sarah told the intern she was going to get me fired for being a boomer. He slides a paper across the table. It's a sworn affidavit from the receptionist. Sarah asked me to lie about Elias making me uncomfortable. She said it was for the greater good of the gallery culture. I refused. I feel like I'm floating, leaving my body. This is entrapment. I whisper. It's a hostile work environment because you were surveilling me. Linda looks at me, eyes like ice. Sarah, you are seen on camera sabotaging safety equipment. That is gross misconduct. It's criminal negligence. I was testing the response time. It was a performance piece about the illusion of safety. Scrambling, drowning Julian speaks. You're fired, Sarah. Effective immediately. We are contesting unemployment, and Mrs. Vanderwall's lawyers will be receiving a copy of this footage. You can't do this. I'm a director. Pack your things. Security will escort you out in 10 minutes. I stand up. This is because I'm a woman. You're protecting the old boys club. Elias looks me in the eye for the first time in months. No, Sarah. It's because you're a liability. Walk out. Everyone is staring. The interns won't look at me. Security guard, a guy I never spoke to, watches me pack, take my stapler, take my smash the patriarchy mug, leave, call Mark in the Uber, crying hysterically. They framed me. Elias doctored footage. They fired me, Mark. Mark is quiet. Come home. We'll talk. Get home. Mark is sitting at the table, suitcase packed. What is this? Julian called me. Mark says they know each other from college. I forgot that. He sent me the video, Sarah. It's out of context. I was making a statement. You unscrewed bolts and let an old lady fall. And you lied. You've been lying to me for months. I did it for us, for my career. You did it because you're a narcissist. He picks up his keys. I'm staying at my brother's. Don't call me. You're leaving me? Now when I'm a victim. You're not the victim here. You're the villain. Door slams alone in the apartment rent. Is $3,500? I have $400 in savings because I spent everything on clothes to look the part. Open Instagram post to black square caption silenced. The industry fears strong women. I will not be quiet. Hash. Time's up hash. Art world misogyny. Refresh 3 likes, 1 comment from a bot selling crypto 2 weeks later can't get an interview. Everyone knows art world is small. Word travels fast. The girl who rigged the stanchions. The liability. Lose the apartment. Move back in with parents in New Jersey. Dad asks what happened. I was too radical for them. They couldn't handle my vision. Dad sighs, Sarah. You're 29. You need a job. Get a job at a local library shelving books part-time. See a group of college girls studying. They're talking about an exhibit in the city. Did you hear about that installation at the Julian Gallery? The new curator is amazing. Yeah, the guy who took over? He worked in logistics before. The flow of the room is so good, my blood boils. Elias took my job? No, they promoted someone else. Check LinkedIn, it's the intern. The one who liked my messages. Promoted to junior curator. Posted so grateful for the mentorship of Elias and Julian. Learning that safety and vision go hand in hand. Throw my phone, crack the screen. It's their fault. All of them, they conspired against me. They made me do it. If Elias had just listened, I wouldn't have had to unscrew the bolts. It's his fault the lady fell. He forced my hand. Start a blog. The glass ceiling is made of safety glass. Write 5,000 words about the tyranny of building codes. Get an email from a men's rights activist site. We'd like to interview you about how false accusations destroy workplaces. Hesitate, they are the enemy, but they are the only ones listening. Look at my bank account, $42.50. Reply, I'm available Tuesday. Tell myself I'm infiltrating them. Tell myself I'm using them to get my platform back. Do the interview. Complain about how competence is a tool of patriarchal oppression. Comment section is cheering. Finally, a woman who sees the truth. For the wrong reasons. She's crazy, but she proves our point. I don't care. It's attention, it's validation. 6 months later, I'm a regular guest on a podcast called Red Pill Reality. I talk about how HR weaponizes empathy. I make $2,000 a month from Patreon. I hate myself, but I hate Elias more. Saw Mark on the street yesterday, holding hands with a girl she took off and walked out at. Looked normal wearing jeans and a t-shirt, no statement jewelry, no aesthetic. They looked happy. He didn't see me. I ducked into a CVS, hid in the candy aisle, stared at the reflection in the security mirror, distorted, warped, ugly. Bought a Snickers, yelled at the cashier for squishing it. Do you know who I am? She chewed gum. No. Realize I don't know who I am either. Go home, open laptop, write new post. Why your boss's competence is actually abuse. Hit publish, the likes roll in. It's enough, it has to be enough. Fast forward another year, the grift is getting harder. The anti-woke crowd is starting to realize I actually believe the jargon I use, just twisting it to blame specific men. They call me a useful idiot and the comments don't care. Rent is paid, invited to a panel discussion at a small conservative college topic. The death of meritocracy. I'm the liberal whistleblower. Sit on stage next to a guy who thinks women shouldn't vote and a guy who sells bone broth supplements. I give my speech. I was fired for challenging the rigid structures of logic that exclude female intuition. Scattered applause, Q&A session starts. Young guy stands up, looks like an engineering student. You said you were fired for challenging logic, but didn't you actually get fired for unscrewing safety bolts and injuring an old woman? Room goes quiet. Sweat prickles my hairline. That's a narrative spun by the corporate lawyers. The footage was doctored. Actually, he continues, looking at his phone, the court documents from the lawsuit Mrs. Vanderwall filed are public record now. You settled. You admitted to tampering with the equipment in your deposition to avoid criminal charges. My throat closes. How does he know that? Nobody reads depositions. I was coerced. My lawyer was incompetent. Your lawyer was a woman you specifically hired because the firm was female-owned. You wrote a blog post about it. Audience starts murmuring. Someone laughs. The bone broth guy scoots his chair away from me. Next question, the moderator says quickly. I sit there frozen. Realize the engineering student is recording vertical video, red light blinking like the eye of Hal. 9,000 like the camera in the gallery after the panel organizer comes up to me. Hey Sarah, we're gonna have to cut your speaking fee. What? We had a contract. Yeah, but the contract has a clause about reputational damage. We didn't know about the admission of guilt in court. It makes us look bad. You're canceling me? I thought you were against cancel culture. We're against cancellation for opinions. We're pro-accountability for negligence. Here's $200 for gas. Hands me a crumpled check, walk out to my 2008 Honda Civic. It won't start, battery dead. Call AAA, wait for an hour, and the cold tow truck pulls up. Driver jumps out, big guy, work boots, thick forearms, looks exactly like Elias. Panic attack starts immediately. Ma'am? You called for a jump? I can't speak. I just nod. He hooks up the cables, efficient, silent, competent. Try it now. He says, I turn the key, engine roars to life. You need a new alternator soon, he says, wiping his hands on a rag. Don't ignore it. It's dangerous to drive like that. Don't tell me what to do. I snap, reflex muscle memory. He looks at me surprised, then shrugs. Suit yourself. Just physics, lady. Drives away. I sit in the running car. Just physics. Tears come hot and angry. I want to write a review. Driver was dismissive and condescending. Pull out my phone, open the app, thumb hovers over 1 star. Stop, look at the dashboard, battery light is flickering. He was right. Elias was right. Mark was right. The engineering student was right. The realization hits like a physical blow, a lead sheet dropping from the ceiling, crushing me. I am the architect of my own misery. I am the chaotic element. I am the unsafe condition. Sit there for 20 minutes shivering. Should I delete the blog? Should I apologize to Mark? Should I learn a trade? Look at my phone notification from Twitter. The video of the Q&A is going viral. Crazy art lady gets destroyed by fax. 50K views in an hour. Read the comments. Brutal? Absolutely brutal. But then see a DM from a reality TV producer. Hey Sarah, saw the clip. You're fiery. We're casting for a show called Bad Bosses Redemption, or maybe Real Housewives of the Unemployment Line. You'd be great as the villain. Pays $5,000 an episode. Stare at the screen, the villain they want me to be. The villain, I could delete it all, go to therapy, work at Starbucks, start over. Or I could lean in. I could be the best damn villain they've ever seen. I could monetize the hate I type back. I'm interested, but I have demands. Smile. Check my reflection in the rearview mirror. Fix my lipstick, the alternator whines as I put the car in gear. It's dangerous, I know it's dangerous, but I drive anyway.